General, great to have you with us.
It's good to be with you today. Thank you.
I know you don't want to talk much about January 6th, but I do want to talk to you about this idea of executive privilege and why it's so important that this is upheld. I mean, you see the attempts to go after the text messages and all this information. What is the danger here if the the principle of executive privilege is undercut by all this?
Well, I liken the executive privilege argument to what people rely on every day. Let's say you want to use an attorney. There's attorney-client privilege because you want to have confidential conversations with someone to get the best possible counsel, not reveal everything to the entire world. A president should have a similar opportunity to get the counsel that he needs. And I think that's where a lot of the American people are looking at what's going on and say, a president does deserve to have some meaningful executive privilege that allows him to do his job the right way. And when you start to see a commission that's voting 9-0 on everything, you start to wonder, is this really an independent, meaningful investigation, or is it just jury rigged from the very beginning?
Right.
That's what worries me. When I think of investigations as an attorney general, I think about how to get to the right result, get the facts out there for the American people. I don't think of how I just put up 9-0, 9-0, 9-0. This doesn't look like a fair process.
No, and I think a lot of the American people see it as not being fair either, and that'll probably, kind of cloud the entire outcome, whatever it may be.
Right.
Let's talk about these vaccine and mask mandates now. Some House Democrats want to mandate vaccines for domestic travel here. Eric Swalwell from California, one of them. His prediction here via tweet, we can go from 60% Americans vaxxed to 80% if we require vaccines to fly domestically. What's your reaction to that?
These people are unhinged. They don't care about our liberty. They don't care about our jobs. They don't care about our Constitution. Fortunately, the Republican attorneys general are stepping up. We've filed lawsuit after lawsuit against these vaccine mandates. And guess what? We're 3-0 so far, and we're going to keep going. We have more lawsuits coming. But that's because the Constitution doesn't allow these federal agencies to have these huge power grabs. Congress needs to delegate authority to them. That's all we're trying to make sure happens. So I think that a lot of these folks on the other side, they don't realize that the Constitution restrains power. We're supposed to be limited government for we the people. That's not what these guys are trying to do.
Everybody should read the 10th Amendment. It's very important here in this case. All right, so we also have this governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, not elected by the people. She is one of these folks putting in a new statewide mask mandate, but she's already dealing with the revolt. Some counties saying they're not going to enforce this. I mean, what good is a mandate? I guess you don't have a mandate, right? If you're trying to enforce this stuff and you have people openly thwarting your mandate. She's not really the governor of New York, is she?
Well, look, I think when you have people like that are making decisions having nothing at all to do with the science. Remember when the new variant, the word came out from South Africa, everyone was all worried. New York acted and made statements before anyone even got tests back about the nature of the variant. That shows and proves that these guys are not doing it for scientific or public health reasons. They're doing it as a matter of control for politics. It's wrong on every level. And look, I hope these guys get sued regularly and we could prevail in court. I feel for the people of New York, what they're going through, but I will say this. The Republican AGs, my office, others, we're going to stand up for the entire country and fight for freedom.
Yeah, the little disappointing from the Supreme Court yesterday on this, but more battles ahead on these mandates. We'll see what comes of it. Now let's talk about what you guys are doing in terms of pushing back against the EPA.
Sure.
We're going to talk about this coming up a little bit more, about the over-regulation that this administration is just trying to put in place. They want to criminalize carbon. They want to cancel coal. They want to get rid of all of it. Why?
Well, first of all, I think what you're seeing is that this is a true China first, Russia first, America last strategy. The EPA wants to unilaterally decarbonize our country. And remember, humans are carbon as well, carbon-based. And what you're seeing is quintessential federal overreach. Fortunately, we have an opportunity now. We'll be up at the High Court, U.S. Supreme Court in February. We just filed our U.S. Supreme Court brief. We're leading a 19-state coalition, one of the biggest energy, environmental, administrative law cases out there. And you know what it stands for? A really simple proposition. A federal agency can't take one of these major actions involving money or social or political significance unless you get clear delegation from Congress. That's all we're trying to make sure happens. That way everyone in the country, every state, California, West Virginia, Texas, New York, They get to participate in the process. You don't have these bureaucrats trying to create a central energy planning authority. That's what's happening right now in D.C.
You mean you're trying to uphold the systems of checks and balances that we have in this country?
What a concept. We're going to defend the Constitution and our way of life. And you know what? We are seeing success in the courts, but we've got a lot more work to do, and we need a lot of Americans to pay attention to these big cases. So if you can, go to teammorrisey.com, go online, learn about what we're doing, learn about what the Republican AGs are doing to defend America.
We're going to talk about this a little bit coming up. Did you see the vice president yesterday trying to charge the car like she was pumping gas?
Oh, you know, look, I think we're all very disappointed with this administration, but it's a disaster on energy. They're looking to compromise our national security and our energy independence, and obviously shift more resources over across the ocean. That's not right.